Good evening. We call the meeting to order at 7:35 on the dot. I'm going to share my screen. First item on the agenda tonight is sorry, I need to find the screen that I'm sharing. Is the approval of last month's meetings minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes of the May meeting?
Yep.
All right. Any questions, concerns about page 1?
Yeah. Fran Collier Clemens should be hyphenated.
In the attendance list, that's right.
It is down below, but up top,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Any other comments on the first page? Okay, any comments on the second page?
Yeah. Mr. Oliver should be Miss Oliver. Under case 1819-23.
Yep.
Any further comments?
There was something else. Don't remember. I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe it was on a different page. There were like about four mistakes I found.
I'd like to, this isn't necessarily a mistake, but I think a rephrasing that better states what was going on. In 1821-23, the way the sentence reads, it could read that Attorney Liskov feels the conditions do not justify a rent increase. And of course, that's not, we're an objective view until we have the hearing. So I'd appreciate it if it could be period after 2013, the tenant feels conditions do not justify a rent increase, and that would make it more clear that it's the tenant who feels that way and not a member of the fair rent group.
It's one of those dangling participles.
Yeah. Okay. Anything on, what are we on, page 4? Page 3? Whatever this page is. Any comments on this one?
Oh, maybe that was it.
All right. Any motions?
I'll motion and accept the minutes.
Second? Do we have a second?
Through the chair, I'm sorry, John, it's Sharon. The screen's not moving when the seconds are being, or the motions are being made. So if you could tell me who it is, I can't
Yeah.
see it.
Sorry, that was Sonia Oliver who made the motion, and I don't have a second. I still don't have a second. Does anyone want to second the
Somebody
motion?
wants to second the minutes?
Miss Collier Clemens there? Carlos, are people on?
Yes,
I think Brenda's waving.
Here, I'm having difficulty with connections.
My screen just blanked out. So we may have lost
So-
people.
It's every. So I'm just,
Brenda, I think, was raising her hand to say that she was seconding the motion.
Hmm.
Thank you, Brenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Brenda raised her hand again just to acknowledge it. Peter, since I can't see you, are you voting? Peter, you're on mute if you're trying to communicate with us. How did you vote? I think that's an aye. Great. All right. Motion passes. Let's
Can
proceed.
you, can you,
We got
can
you
you
now,
hear
Peter.
me
Thank you.
now?
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay. Okay,
Excellent.
thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to the chair's report. Hi, everybody. I hope that you are enjoying this smoky day, or at least as best as you can, given the circumstances. Appreciate everybody joining tonight. I don't necessarily have much to report. The business of the commission marches on, or the department marches on. And so I appreciate you all joining, and I look forward to the rest of the meeting, and I'll turn it over to Carlos to share the coordinator's report.
Good evening, everyone. For the coordinator's report I have over the past 6 months, I had the pleasure of assisting over 240 families. Most of these families come in with concerns about rent increases, evictions, explanation of lease terms because they can be confusing, and how to go about asking for the security deposits back, because a lot of the times they get partial security deposits back without justifications. So I've been able to assist a lot of the residents with those issues, with those inquiries. Also, questions about utilities, questions about commingled utilities. And to try to break it down a little bit into percentages, about 20% of these families have come in through this door have dealt with evictions, 23% about rent increases, 18% about lease terms, and 12% about security deposits. Additionally, I've been able to refer multiple families over to the resource hub, as well as the health department, housing inspectors, with a myriad of questions and concerns with the safety and the health of the families when it comes to mold, repairs not being completed. After talking to the health department, the senior inspector there told me that anything dealing with housing to refer over to them, and then they'll try to get the ball rolling and engage in either zoning or the building department. And that's all from the coordinator's report.
All right, next item on the agenda, review and motion on open cases, and I will turn it over to Attorney Liskov. I'll move over to the correct screen where we have the open cases for today.
All right, good evening, everybody. Russell Liskov. The first one is 1821-23. It's about 47 Lexington Avenue. This is the one where there was the basement apartment, maybe legal, maybe illegal. This is the person who has been in the hospital. He has severe diabetic issues. We've been trying to reach out to him over time. He is now represented in court by Attorney Heisler, and they are working on that in court. So he's not getting back to us, really. He's going through his own attorney at this point in time. I will try to reach out to Abe Heisler to see what's going on. I know where the pleadings are in court, but at this point in time, since Abe is working on it and they're in court, I would recommend that we take no action at this time. No adverse action is being taken to the tenant because of this fair rent complaint as well. So I'd ask that I would recommend no action on this matter right now.
I'll make a motion for no action. Sonia Oliver.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
I'm sorry, who was the
Aye.
second?
Peter Halliday was the second.
Thank you.
I had my hand up for a discussion.
Okay, sorry, Brenda, I didn't see you. Go ahead.
Oh, so I want to know what if when they had the fire and they removed everything and it's illegal, what can we really do?
Well, the landlord is also asking for a rent increase from $750 to $900. So that's what really invokes the jurisdiction of the Fair Rent Commission. That requested rent increase is before you.
Yeah, but when was it?
They
It says
asked,
November 2022.
right.
When was the fire?
Carlos, do you have that? The fire was probably a month after, probably about a month after the complaint was filed.
Was it, do we know why? What happened? What caused the fire?
The fire marshal has not told us yet what the reason is for the fire. I'm sure it's still under investigation. Those things take forever.
But
The fire was on
my
November
thing is,
30th.
if it was
2022.
illegal, the fire was after the increase. Illegal, why are we still involved in it? That's what I'm saying.
Brenda, if I'm understanding correctly, what we're if everything else gets resolved, if it gets resolved that it is an illegal apartment and the tenant does need to move out, then there's nothing before us. If it gets resolved and it turns out it wasn't an illegal dwelling, or that the landlord is looking for back rent for the time that he had to spend there or what have you, then it still is a fair rent issue, it sounds like to me. So we can't
John,
do anything until the other issues are resolved.
and I get that,
depending on
but
how they're resolved.
I don't even know why we getting them. It says the basement unit to be an illegal dwelling. Okay, this was after the increase. If it's illegal, why are we still involved?
Hasn't been determined yet that it's illegal.
Right.
Yeah, it does not, it says it right there, and
It's-
found this
it-
basement unit to be illegal. It
That's
says it right there.
that's before the court to be determined by the court.
Right. Right,
Well, it does, but you don't have it there. It does not say that.
but he said it.
Hey,
It says
Carlos,
the
when you,
Norwalk Fire Department went door to door doing inspection and found this basement unit to be an illegal dwelling. It's
Right,
right.
but then Attorney Liskov said, but that's before the courts.
correct. The fire department can't make that determination on its own if it's in contest before the court. That's up to a judge to decide that. So maybe the next time we can put in that issue is pending before the court.
Okay, so all of this stuff happened, car towed from parking lot by landlord, all of this stuff is in court. When, at what point are we gonna hear something from the courts?
From the court?
Yeah,
Well,
So
they filed a motion last week to default the plaintiff for not answering the complaint. The court should rule on that within the week. I'm sure Mr. Heisel is going to file an answer to that. And then the court is going to set it down for a hearing after there's an answer. So I would say by the next board meeting, we'll know better where it stands in court. The defendant did not push the matter as rapidly as I thought that they would, but so nothing adverse is happening to the tenant. And there's, we can't make a determination about the rent increase until the court determines whether this is a legal or an illegal apartment.
at present, where's the tenant?
The last we know, he was in the hospital in New York. He had they might have had to amputate parts of his feet for all we know. He has not been communicating with us.
So this apartment is still unoccupied?
Well, I think he has some stuff in there still, but he is not living there as far as we know.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a very weird, tricky situation on this one. Sometimes you can say, is it a fish or a bird? This is kind of like a flying fish, unfortunately.
We have a motion on the floor to take no action. We have a second. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, hearing none, motion passes. We'll go on to the next case.
You scroll it up just a little further for me, Mr. Church. Thank
Sorry.
you. That's okay. 1822-23, 58 Stewart Avenue, apartment 2. The landlord was seeking a rent increase. On this matter, we had a extensive negotiation with the landlord, extensive negotiation with the tenant. The landlord had to make repairs. The landlord did multiple repairs. They've entered into a new month-to-month lease agreement. Now, Carlos, did we get the withdrawal signed by the tenant on that matter? I thought we were waiting. We didn't receive that one yet.
No, she walked in and she signed it.
Oh, okay. That's because Carlos and I spoke about this, it was gonna be, we were gonna recommend no action because we didn't have the withdrawal of the fair rent complaint. But everything has been done. They have a new month-to-month agreement and the tenant filed the withdrawal. So I would ask that you close the case because there's nothing left to do.
Sonia Oliver motions to close the case.
Fran Collier Clemens, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Carlos, I didn't see the complaint withdrawal attached. Do we usually include a copy of that?
I do have a copy of it. I'll attach it next time for the next
Okay.
meeting.
Thanks.
Okay, can you just scroll up a little? There we go. The next one is 1823-23, 3 Loomis Street. This was, once again, I spent a lot of time with these two ladies. They was two of the loveliest ladies I've ever met. But they were like sisters who were fighting with each other. It was crazy. Every time they get close to coming to an agreement, one would back out or back off, and the other one would get to agreement. They back off. It was back and forth and back and forth. But finally, we were able to get them to the finish line, and they entered into a new month-to-month agreement. And the complaint withdrawal was filed. I've seen it also. And so we would recommend that actually we close the case on this one.
Sonia Oliver motion to close case.
Fran Collier Clemens, second.
Any discussion?
The 2nd of June, it says the complaint withdrawal form was mailed to tenants, so we don't have a signed withdrawal form.
We
yet.
do. It was in the file.
No,
Carlos,
excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, that is correct. I mailed her the complaint withdrawal form, but she has not returned it yet.
wait a minute, those two ladies, she did not, I thought she did return that one.
No, not the complaint withdrawal.
Okay, then I thought that she had come in with that one. Those are the two ladies that I'm talking about, right?
She signed the agreement. They both agreed to it, and I'm just waiting for her to return the.
Okay, then I'm
complaint
gonna
withdrawal
change what I
form.
had to say. Then I would ask that we take no action until we get the formal withdrawal form. I thought we had that withdrawal form.
Yeah, I'll change my motion to no action.
Any second?
And I second the change.
Any
Of the
further
motion.
discussion? Thank you for the clarification, Fran. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right,
Thank you. Next month,
Go
that
on
case
to
will
the-
go away.
excellent. Let's go on to the next item on the agenda, which is new cases. Well,
Yes,
give that our to Scott.
the first new case is 1824-23, 1 Glover Avenue, apartment 503. They're looking for an increase from 25,700 to 3,015 per month. The tenant filed the complaint. We have sent notification to the landlord. We spoke to the tenant. We actually spoke to the management company as well. This completely fits within every element of what the Fair Rent Commission was designed for. So I would recommend that we accept the case.
Sonia Oliver motion to accept.
Point of clarity, aren't our votes usually to hear the case?
Brenda Penn Williams, second.
Okay, we do vote to accept the case, which means you'll hear it, but if you want to say accept to hear the case,
Vote to hear the case, I think.
vote to
is
hear the
what I would
case,
prefer.
okay.
Sonia, can you just amend the motion?
Motion, change my motion to vote to hear the case.
Second.
That's a second by Brenda. Any discussion? Great. All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we'll hear this case.
All right, the next matter is 1825-23, 515 West Avenue, apartment 339. They want to increase the rent from $26.60 a month to $28.79. They filed the complaint. They went, it's properly filed. I've reviewed it with Carlos as well, and I would recommend that you hear the case. It fits in every element also for a fair rent complaint.
Sonia Oliver, motion to hear the case.
Brenda Penn Williams, second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Any opposed? Any
I'm sorry.
abstentions? Yep.
Why did they put in a complaint? Because of the increase?
Yes,
That was just it, just the increase?
yes.
So you said that it was what, fair rent, I'm not understanding, there's no other issue but the rent increase.
That is correct. They don't think that the rent increase from $26.60 a month to $28.79 is a fair increase. He thought it should be $69. They wanted it to be only $69 a month, but it was $219. There's certain issues about what the lease says. There's a new owner of the property. It's a little tricky, but if squarely fits into what the Fair Rent Commission is for, about an increase in rent.
How many bedrooms?
I believe, Carlos, you have the application there for, I believe it's a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, I'm just a little confused that a lot of times when the landlord wants to increase their rent, there's something wrong with the apartment or whatever, and that's why they put in. So they're putting in because they think that they should ask for $69, and
Correct,
that's a little too steep.
right.
Get a 19.
Right, they think it should be a $69 a month increase as opposed to a $219.
Yeah, but
a month increase.
they're thinking that because that was originally what he was told.
Correct,
Right, so it's not so much that he just thinks it should only be $69. He was told it was going to be $69, and then the landlord turned around and sent him an email.
Well,
saying
there's questions, you'll hear evidence if it goes to a hearing, it'll be about, well, if I did a 1-year lease, it'd be this month, if I did a 2-year lease, it'd be this much. There's a lot of going back and forth, but if there's.
And it's in writing, Russ? Do they have this in writing?
The complainant does not have that in writing about how much will go up each year.
Okay.
This is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and he texted me a few minutes ago that he was emailing me the actual rent increase notification from the property management.
Good, because we didn't have that in the file, but that's,
260.
as I said, it still falls in with what the Fair Rent Commission.
What's the name of this complex?
The Waypoint.
Oh, my God.
You guys are gonna be getting busy because all these renewals are coming up, and a
Yep.
lot of people are gonna be very unhappy with what the market is doing out there. So this commission is gonna get busy and busy fast, I have a feeling.
I think Carlos would say it's
better-
already been busy. Carlos, be prepared.
you better get
I
a
am.
salary increase.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to hear the case. I think we had started voting, but I don't remember what the count was, so I'm gonna ask for a revote. We have a second too. Any further discussion on this before we vote? Okay, all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
all opposed? Any abstention? Okay, we will vote to hear the case. Great.
Thank you.
All right, we are on to old business, and I believe the first item on old business is Brenda's tonight. Let me go and double check. Yes.
I thought that, I asked how many people wanted to do a brunch on a Sunday, but I never got anything, I never heard anything back.
I never got that notification.
Me neither.
Neither did I.
That was in the
Neither
April
did I.
meeting.
We didn't have a meeting in April.
Well,
Yeah,
when
we
was the
didn't
last
have a
time I
meeting.
was here? March? The last meeting that I was in?
I think you were here for May.
No,
No,
she was
Yeah, she
not
was.
here for May. It was March.
Yeah.
March, okay.
Last
Oh,
time
okay,
she
And
was
that's
yep,
when we
present.
March.
talked about it in March. But I never heard anything else about it. So
All right,
would you guys like to do a brunch on a Sunday? At Pinstripes?
That's fine.
Sounds very elegant.
Or we could go back to the place that we were at last year on a, it's up to you. I'll put it into motion, but just let me know what you want to do.
all right. Show of hands, if that's okay. All those in favor of brunch on a Sunday?
What Sunday are we talking about? Is this any Sunday or?
Well, we'll come together, I mean, say what Sunday. But
I could-
I think the brunch is worth the money.
If I may
Well-
say, I could send out an email to all the commissioners and with a little bit of a questionnaire to find out whether Sunday and a certain day works better for them, and we'll go
Okay.
with the,
And also, Carlos, just not the commissioners, the former commissioners as well.
okay, we'll do.
Former
Thank you, Carlos.
commissioners plus, I guess, Anna, Adam, anybody that was affiliated with us, we always invite.
Absolutely. Anna Vivian. Lamont.
And so if we could get 20 or more people, we can have our own private room, which is really nice. It's really nice. To have our own private room, which will be $1,200. And like I said, it's just nice. And we'll all be together and we could, talk amongst each other, do what we do. But I think you will like the brunch.
So looking at the calendar, the 11th is already right in front of us. The 18th is Father's Day. So should we be looking at maybe the 25th or the first weekend in July?
It's
I
July
don't
4th.
think would work either.
I'm not
So-
available the first weekend in July.
I'm not available the last Sunday or Father's Day, so.
Yeah.
I'm out.
So the second Sunday in July is the 9th or the
I'm
16th
available
of July.
then.
So let's plan for the July 9th or the 16th. Again, I'll send out an email and see what works for everyone.
And Brenda, just, Carlos, when you send out the email, confirm the price point with Brenda first so that we can make sure that everybody's aware of what the cost would be per person.
Will do.
Okay,
What's the name of the place? What's the name of the
Pinstripe.
restaurant?
Pinstripe, and it's in the
It's in the
mall.
mall.
It's on the rooftop. They have an excellent brunch, excellent.
They
And I
do.
can send you the information.
All right. Thank you, Brenda. Thank
You're
you, Carlos.
welcome, John.
All right, new business. Is there any new business to discuss tonight? Hearing none, I will take a motion.
Sonia Oliver, motion to adjourn.
Aaron, Fran, Collier, Clemens.
I got
Second.
Sonia on the motion and Fran on the second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a
Great
good
night.
night.
Stay
Thank you. Have a
stay
good night,
healthy.
everyone.
Stay well. Thanks
Bye,
again.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.